Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you with fire in my soul and urgency in my voice because your moment is the storm you weathered, the nights you cried, the battles you fought. They were not in vain. You've come through the test, and I declare to you today your breakthrough begins now. My friend, listen closely because this is not just another message. This is a declaration from the throne of heaven. You've been waiting, praying, hoping, and holding on by a thread. You've asked, when will it happen? How much longer? And I'm here to tell you, the final test is done. The chains are broken. Your breakthrough begins now. You have walked through fire. You have wrestled in the midnight hour. You faced giants that mocked you, walls that wouldn't fall, and deserts that seemed endless. But you didn't quit. You didn't run. You stood your ground. You cried through it. You praised through it. You have passed through the fire, not just walked through difficulty, but endured the furnace of affliction, the kind of heat that tests your identity, your resolve. And here's the truth. If you're still standing, you didn't come out empty, you came out refined. Let me ask, like the pressure was too much, the pain too deep, and the silence from heaven too loud. If that's you, I want you to lean in, because what felt like destruction was actually transformation in disguise. The fire doesn't come to kill purpose, it comes to reveal it. You thought you were being punished, but God was positioning you. You thought you were losing, but something greater was being built in the unseen. And while you were praying for God to take the fire away, heaven was using that very fire to forge strength, clarity, and resilience into your spirit. Don't miss this. Gold isn't gold until it's been refined. Diamonds don't shine until they've been crushed, cut, and polished. And so it is with you. The late nights, the tears, the unanswered questions weren't pointless. They were preparation. Preparation for a platform, for a calling, for a destiny too great to be carried by the person you used to be. Let me speak straight to your heart. You didn't just survive that storm, you were shaped by it. The fire stripped away what you didn't need. It burned off the lies you believed. It revealed the power that was buried deep within you. And now, you're not who you were. You're stronger. You're ready. And the pain that almost made you quit, it was the final test. Here's the hook. What if your biggest breakdown was actually the birthplace of your breakthrough? What if the very thing you thought would end you was the turning point of your greatest beginning? Think about that moment you almost gave up, that silent night when nobody knew how close you were to letting go. That was the test. And you passed. Not because you felt strong, but because you didn't give up. You showed up one more day. You whispered a prayer even when your faith felt empty. And that was enough. Because God never needed you to be perfect. He just needed you to endure. And now, with the fire behind you and wisdom within you, you're stepping into a new realm. A realm where the heat no longer burns, it fuels. So I say to you now, with every ounce of conviction, don't fear the fire. Respect what it built in you. Because when the test ends, the blessing begins. And your blessing? It's not coming because you're lucky. It's coming because you're ready. The door to destiny is open right now. And I don't say that as wishful thinking. I say it as a prophetic truth for someone who has felt locked out, overlooked, and forgotten. You've been praying behind closed doors, fasting in secret, sowing seeds when no one was watching, and wondering when your moment would come. Well, hear me. This is your moment. The final test has been passed, and heaven is turning the key. Let me ask you something. What if everything you've been through was never about keeping you out, but about preparing you to walk through? What if the door wasn't locked? It was just waiting for the right version of you to arrive. There's something powerful about timing. You see, premature entry can destroy a destiny. You wouldn't give car keys to a child just because they want to drive. And likewise, God wasn't denying you, He was developing you. Now that the test is over, now that the fire has shaped you, now that the waiting has humbled you, you are ready to walk through that door with power. But here's the hook. Just because the door is open doesn't mean you automatically walk through it. Open doors still require decision. They require motion. Destiny won't drag you, it invites you. It dares you to believe again, to dream again, to trust that God is still a waymaker even when the way has been long and dry. Think about how long you've been standing in that hallway praying, weeping, hoping. It felt endless, didn't it? But there's something sacred about the hallway. It's where pride died. It's where faith matured. It's where noise dies down and clarity rises up. And now, finally, you're hearing it? The sound of hinges turning. The door is creaking open, and you can feel it in your spirit. This is different. This isn't just another opportunity. This is the appointed one. You don't have to force it. You don't have to beg for it. You just have to step into it. The door is open because the test is complete. And what lies on the other side is not just blessing, it's alignment. It's where everything starts making sense. The pain, the delay, the heartbreak, the silence. It was leading you here. So here's the question. Will you walk through or will you freeze at the threshold? Will you let fear talk you out of what you were made for? Or will you move boldly into what's already been prepared for you? The door is open. The past is behind you. And your breakthrough doesn't need permission. It just needs your yes. Divine timing is now, not next year, not when everything is perfect, when you feel ready, now. This is not just a good time, this is your time. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. You've been standing at the edge of something big, sensing something shifting, something stirring deep in your spirit. That's not. That's confirmation. The clock of heaven has struck your appointed hour. Let me ask you, how many seasons have you spent thinking God forgot you? You watched others get promoted, celebrated, elevated, and all the while, you were in the background, faithful but hidden, obedient but overlooked. You wondered if the delay was denial. But I came to tell you it wasn't denial. It was divine protection. Because if the blessing came too soon, it would have crushed you. But now, you're no longer the same person. The crushing prepared you. The test shaped you. And now that the test is done, the time is now. You see, God doesn't work on your calendar. He doesn't check your clock. He doesn't rush because you're impatient, and he doesn't delay because you're scared. He moves at the perfect time. And here's the hook: when heaven moves, everything shifts in a moment. It may have taken years of waiting, but breakthrough comes suddenly. Suddenly the door opens. Suddenly the favor flows. Suddenly what didn't make sense falls into place. And suddenly you're not waiting anymore. You're walking in it. But you have to recognize the season you're in. This is not a time to hesitate. This is not a time to stay stuck in analysis, doubt, or fear. This is a moment for boldness, for faith, for action. Because when divine timing hits, you don't need to push, you need to move. The wind is at your back. The Spirit is clearing the path. All you need to do is step. And maybe you're still wrestling with what happened before, how you failed, how others hurt you, how the last time you tried, it didn't work out. But let me speak this over you. This is not that season. That was preparation. This is activation. That was struggle. This is release. That was delay. This is divine timing. What took 10 years of pain can be turned in one moment of purpose. That's how God works. One whisper from him, one touch of favor, one shift in time, and everything changes. So I'm asking you right now, are you ready to move with God's timing, or are you waiting for man's permission? Because heaven isn't waiting anymore. The test is done. The page has turned, and your appointed time has arrived. Your breakthrough begins now. You are not who you were. That version of you, the one who walked into the fire, the one who doubted, feared, second-guessed, cried themselves to sleep, is gone. That person was necessary for the journey, but they cannot walk into what comes next. You have been changed, transformed, rebuilt in the furnace of trial, and it's time you start living like it. Let me ask you something. Why are you still thinking like the person who was in survival mode when God has already shifted you into breakthrough mode? Why are you still shrinking when you've been stretched, tested, and proven? You made it through the final test. That test wasn't about passing or failing, it was about becoming. You've been through too much to stay the same. The fire you endured wasn't for punishment, it was for purification. The test you passed wasn't academic, it was transformational. You didn't just walk through difficulty, you emerged with new eyes, new strength, and new authority. Here's the hook: the enemy wants you to act like nothing's changed. He wants you to come out of the storm still thinking you're broken, still thinking you're bound. But I came to remind you, you are different now. You didn't just survive, you were promoted in the spirit. Heaven has marked you. Hell has noticed you. And your story has shifted from tragedy to triumph. You might still have the scars, but scars are not signs of defeat. They're signs of healing. They remind you of where you've been, but they no longer define where you're going. Stop apologizing for the fire that made you. Stop hiding the strength you've gained. Because breakthrough doesn't belong to the old. It belongs to the one who endured, grew, and rose up. And don't let familiarity fool you. Just because your surroundings haven't changed yet doesn't mean you haven't. You can be walking through the same hallway, but with a different authority. You can be among the same people, but with a renewed calling. Because transformation is internal before it ever shows up external. So why are you still asking for permission to be powerful? Why are you still waiting for someone to validate what God has already approved? The test was your validation. The silence was your training ground. The breaking was the making. You are now who you were. You have authority now. You have vision now. You have clarity now. The version of you that walked into the test was unproven, but the version walking out is equipped. You carry something now. A voice. A calling. A weight of glory. It's time to stop living in yesterday's mindset and start moving in today's mantle. The breakthrough is not ahead of you, it's within you. And that new version of you, they're ready. Breakthrough requires movement. It doesn't come to those who wait passively. It comes to those who step boldly, even when their knees are shaking. You can pray for it, believe for it, cry out for it. But until you move, breakthrough remains potential, not possession. It's not enough to see the door open, you've got to walk through it. Let me ask you, how long have you been circling the promise? How many times have you said one day, or when the time is right? But what if I told you the time is already right? That the delay isn't in the divine, it's in the decision. You don't need another confirmation. You need a step of faith. God responds to movement, not perfection, not eloquence. Movement. Think about it, every miracle in Scripture followed a moment of movement. The waters parted after the feet of the priests touched the river. The healing came after the woman pressed through the crowd. The resurrection power flowed after the stone was rolled away. What are you waiting for before you move? A feeling? Aye, sigh in the sky. The fear to disappear. Here's the hook: fear never leaves before faith moves. You don't wait for fear to vanish. You move through it. You show up scared. You act while trembling. You walk with doubt knocking at your heels. And in that movement, something happens. The atmosphere shifts. The impossible bends. The breakthrough that was waiting on the other side meets you in motion. You've passed the test. You survived the fire. You've heard the call. But now, the question is, will you move? Will you start the business, write the book, forgive the person, leave the comfort zone, speak what God placed in your heart? Because the test may be done, but the breakthrough doesn't manifest without obedience. Breakthrough isn't a feeling, it's a decision. A decision to step out when logic says stay still. A decision to risk again after you failed before. A decision to believe there's more when everything around you looks the same. Don't wait for perfect conditions, they don't exist. Don't wait to feel qualified, God qualifies the ones who obey. Don't wait for everyone to approve. They didn't see the fire, you came through anyway. This moment isn't about comfort, it's about courage. So I challenge you, what is your next move? Because breakthrough isn't just God doing something for you, it's you agreeing to move with Him. And when you do, heaven responds. Doors open. Favor slow. Chains fall. Your breakthrough is not waiting on God. It's waiting on you. Move now, because the test is done. The way is open. And the breakthrough, it's already yours. So now stand up. Wipe the dust of delay off your feet. Shake the ashes of the past off your shoulders. You cried and you've waited long enough. You've survived what tried to break you. The test is finished. The chains are off. The heavens are open. And the next move is yours. Move!